What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Otaku Room, the little corner of the internet that we have carved out just for us anime fans. And today, you guys are with me, Dom, from the Otaku Room. Welcome back. If you're back, subscribe so you can keep coming back, and make sure you guys like the video. Today, guys, we're talking about So I'm a Spider, So What? We're talking about episode number 10. This one was marked Who is this geezer? Who's this grandpa coming in? And this episode was really interesting, guys, just kind of from the get-go. Last episode, I would say that episode was at a 12 of just everything, right? Action, curiosity, story setting, what's going to happen. It basically raised just basically a scroll of questions that I'm sure I know I have, and I'm sure that you have too, that have just still remained unanswered. But we see kind of the fabric of the weaving of the fabric kind of being done to show us kind of like where a lot of these strings are going to end up leading us to. So in this episode, we were introduced to a brand new character. His name was Ronandt or Ronandt Sama. I'm just gonna call him Ron. So we were introduced to Grandpa Ron, and Grandpa Ron is one of the strongest mages in the human empire. He is like the strongest mage, and he was the one that had trained Julius in magic. So we were introduced to him. He's the geezer and the focus of this episode, and I think it's going to end up being really crucial as kind of the series kind of goes on and moves forward. So in this episode, it started off again with Kumuko. We were introduced to kind of where it left off last time. She had her curiosity at an all-time high right now for Admin D. Who is she? Where does she come from? What's up with that smartphone? Why can't she speak Japanese? Is she? This is definitely she. I think at one point she definitely said this smells or reeks of Japan, because Admin D's Japanese was so fluent. So she was definitely going in all kinds of different areas, different paces. What is going on? And then she says at some point, she's like, well, the one thing that we know is worrying gets us nowhere. And that's kind of where that whole immediate beginning part, the beginning section of the anime is where it kind of left off. And then from there on, we kind of moved forward into the anime, and we found out a little bit more about Julius. And one of the things that I thought personally was I wanted to know, I want them to dive deeper into Schlain's, or Schlain, however you say it, and Yamada. I his backstory. I want to know more about it. We were able to get Kumuko from Eggy, from the egg, all the way to kind of where she is now, or where she's going. But we haven't gotten the same thing for Schlain and his character so far. So I'm hoping that we end up getting that. But regardless, we were introduced to kind of his family lineage. We met his father and his brothers. One of his brothers seems pretty corrupt or jealous, or something's going on with one of his brothers that has that light blue hair. But we were introduced to all of his brothers and kind of the mantle that he's going to need to be taking up. He was explaining to them on how he got the title of hero, and that only means one thing. That means that Julius has fallen. They kind of went down a back and forth dialogue of, that Schlain's going to have to end up taking over being the hero of the land, and all the weight of the people is going to be on his shoulders. So they're going to need to get him prepared for that. He's going to have to leave the academy to train and then eventually be introduced as a hero. And, for him, it seems like, right now, he's just kind of he's grasping right now with the loss of his brother, which meant probably more to him than any of his other family members, as that was the one that he was the closest with in this world. And then he has to grasp with eventually, harboring the weight of the humans on his shoulders at some point when he kind of envelops the hero, or the title of hero. And, that just seemed very weighty on him. As kind of it went on, they got word about that the demon empire, or the demon had kind of wiped out a lot of their army, but the wizard, or I guess the mage Ronandt, had kind of saved the day. They got word of that, and then they found out that Ronandt, or the grandpa Ron, he was the one that had originally trained Julius in magic. We flash forward into the actual scene, and people are praising Grandpa Ron for saving the day. He explained to them that, hey, like, we lost a lot of our army, and not only did they lose a lot of the army, they lost their hero, but that he's no hero, and they need to understand that if a Queen Taratect has come in and taken over and said, this is my domain now, that we need to be hella scared, because there was a point in life to where 15 years ago, he had a run-in with a spider, and he goes over the labyrinth. So the next, I would say 2/3 of the anime was kind of going over his experience, and we flash back 15 years, and we get to see the battle or the kerfuffle that ensued between Grandpa Ron and an extremely powerful spider, which we assumed that it is our friendly neighborhood spider, Kumiko. But it looks so fearsome and scary. But one of the things that we said during our reaction video, if you want to see exactly how we reacted during the whole entire episode, check the cards or check the pinned comments if you guys like watching reaction videos. But one thing that I said during the reaction video is I bet this is just how they perceive or they see Kumiko, because we know that Kumiko on our side, she's cutely animated and whatnot, and that's not how she's perceived to everybody else. So I bet this is her. And one of the things I want to stop right there before I kind of continue on is one of the things is we also came across Julius's battle with a spider that looked very similar, which I don't think was her, because at this point, this was 15 years ago. Julius is 15 years forward. But I wonder if that's like some of her brothers, or I wonder if that's some of the ones that she's controlling. But regardless, I just wanted to throw that out there, that Julius had destroyed a spider that looked just like her. But anyways, we're going to get back to it. So Grandpa Ron, immediately comes, and they're going through the domain. They ruin her house, so they ruin the spider's house. They get stuck in the webbing, and then she appears, and Grandpa Ron is basically shaking in the boots, and he gets hit with something. He's like, oh my god, what did I just get hit with? And he finds out that he got hit with appraisal, and immediately something just like clicks in here, and he's like, oh my god, like, this just appraised me, like, what the hell? So he then does the same thing to the spider, and he's immediately caught in like he's just baffled. He's caught in this aura of just wow. He's able to see all the skills and all the things that this spider has mastered, which is extremely similar to our girl Kumuko. And he's just in awe, and he eventually gets kind of taken out of being in awe by the dude that was there, and then he begins to try and set up a warp gate, but not before the spider takes his arm and just annihilates everybody that came with it. And the whole time we're just there thinking, like, is this her? Is this not her? Is this another spider? And we flash back, and then he's talking to, like, there's a lot of things out there that we don't understand, and we're just not prepared for it. Like, they're so much more powerful, and especially so much more powerful 15 years ago. So if a Queen Taratect is here, we better hold our ass, because it's about to go down. And I thought that was really funny. And at that point, the anime kind of ends, and then it picks up again after credits. And after credits, we're able to see Kumiko kind of complaining, like, how dare they mess up my house? How dare they come up here? I took revenge on him. I did what was right, yada yada. So when we find out, okay, that was in fact her, that scary ass spider, that was our girl Kumuko. And I was like, okay, this feels rectified. This feels great now to know. And one of the things that we found out before the anime ended today, or before this episode ended, was that she marked them. So she's saying that now she can learn on how to exit the labyrinth, which I think is going to be very key moving forward into her growth and where the anime goes next. But overall, guys, like, I am loving this anime. Oh, they did flash the Demon Lord again, which at this point I'm starting to think that wasn't her. I'm starting to think that might be Mama. I'm starting to think that might be Mama Kumuko. Or like that might be something, maybe she's not even related to Kumuko exactly, but I'm starting to think that isn't her. I'm starting to think that is legitly one of the evolved leaders. And then going back to last episode, I'm starting to think that she might have been there, because at the end of last episode, they did flash somebody that was with the demon lord, and it's like, why would that person be there, and why would the anime be focusing on there? So I'm starting to think that maybe she was there, but she wasn't the demon lord. But I don't know. Again, that's just a theory that I'm throwing out there. We're gonna see where this goes, but we know she's gonna evolve and she's gonna become badass, and we just don't know exactly, like, is she this, or is that like Mama? Is that Mama Kumuko, or is she elsewhere? We don't know yet. But overall, I'm excited, guys, for where this anime goes. I think this episode was amazing. It just wasn't as amazing as the last episode. Just, this is starting again to kind of put the pieces down for where the puzzle is going to end up looking like at the end. But tell me what your guys' thoughts are down below, guys. Share with me your guys' thoughts, your theories, your speculations. Share everything down in the comments below. But do me a favor, don't share any spoilers. I get it if you're a light novel reader or a manga reader or whatever. I know you're excited, but don't share it down below. Keep the spoilers inside, internalize it. But with all that being said, guys, thank you guys for joining another review. I appreciate you guys always coming by, the love and support. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys like the video and click that video right now, guys. Once it's published, that is our full reaction of today's episode. Click there if you want to see my full live reactions to the video, and the one below it, guys, that's what YouTube says is best for you. The algorithm doesn't lie, so it must be best. So just click on it and save it for later. All right, I'll catch you on the next reaction video or review. Peace out, guys.